Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I have some really exciting news. You probably already know by the title, but what I'm looking to do is begin a new series here on this channel that's going to be charting my real estate journey, my real estate investments, and it's just something that's really exciting. I didn't think it was attainable at this point in time, but after doing some research into it, I feel like I'm just around the corner and it's time for me to share some of that information with you guys. So throughout this video, I'm going to be talking about where I'm at with my real estate journey so far and what you can expect moving forward. So let's just jump right into it. All right, so if you guys are new to the channel, you don't really know what it is. Typically what I do is talk about investing. I use the Robinhood app, I talk about personal finance, and now recently I'm starting to dive into real estate investing. So if you want to increase the size of your portfolio, look at how you're handling your money, do it more efficiently, then definitely consider subscribing to the channel, turn on that bell notification so you can be alerted when new content comes out. And you're gonna wanna watch this series because I am a brand new real estate investor with little to no knowledge about it. I've already done some research into it and I'm really excited to get started, but this series here is really going to be charting my entire journey about how I'm trying to purchase, acquire, live in an owner-occupied rental unit that is going to be multifamily. So I'm going to be charting that entire journey. So if that's something that interests you, you're definitely going to want to stick around and watch the rest of this video and continue on with this series. So what I typically do on this channel is something called the Robinhood Challenge. If you're unfamiliar with that, I take $100 every single week, invest that into the stock market, and I give you updates every single Monday with everything that I did, all my moves, if I bought, if I sold, so you can just have full transparency into my portfolio and understand where I'm at. Now, I'm starting to slow down just a little bit with that challenge only because I'm focusing on saving more money to be able to put towards a down payment. So if that's another series that's interesting to you, definitely check out the Robinhood Challenge playlist. But this is going to be the kickoff of my newest playlist here, and this one is going to be all about real estate investing. So what I'm thinking about for a schedule for this challenge, so to speak, is reporting back to you every Wednesday about what I've done prior to the episode to understand where I'm going, how I'm progressing towards making this multifamily unit purchase. And I feel like a lot of the videos at the beginning are going to be really explanatory of what I'm doing, my goals, how I'm going to get there. And then some in the middle might be a little bit more drawn out because it's more of me saving the money. I already have the plan in place and I'm just looking to build capital for that down payment. And then towards the end, as I make the purchase to the property, maybe any renovations that I have to do to it to make sure that I can be rental ready and I can actually get people, get tenants. But I'm going to be talking about that entire process. So I'm really excited to dive into that stuff. The thing about this property in particular, it is my very first for a lot of things. Not only is it my first multifamily unit, not only is it going to be my first rental income generating unit, but it's also going to be my first house. And so this is a lot of information for me to take in. I've been doing some of this research for a very long time now, and I didn't actually realize it was so attainable until I started reaching out to various people and understanding what it actually takes to get a loan and the entire process. So it's not as overwhelming as I would have once thought. So if you are a real estate owner, if you have multifamily unit properties, then let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to connect with some of you and get some of your input on some of the stuff as I move forward. All right, so I feel like that was a really long intro to this series, but what I want to do in this section is talk about everything that I've done so far to get to the point that I'm at, and I want to talk about how I found out that this was attainable. So let's get into that stuff. So the very first thing that I did that actually made me realize that this was attainable, this is something that I could achieve in the relatively short term, was talking to my brother. Now, he purchased his first home when he was 24 years old. I believe it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and it was in a pretty decent area, and he got a relatively good deal on a home like that. And I started talking to him about the numbers just so I could get a solid understanding. You know, I didn't really understand anything about the home buying process. I knew you had to get a mortgage and there was some financing involved and all of these different things, but I really didn't understand the process. So he really did a great job of breaking it down for me and explaining the steps that I needed to take in order to make this achievable. And I think if you're just getting started in real estate, just getting started investing, it's really great to have some of those mentors out there that are going to help you out with the process so they can sit down with you and you can understand exactly what you need to do. So the first thing I did was talk to him about something like a down payment, where I didn't realize that he actually didn't make as big of a down down payment as I thought that he would have. You know, typically before I knew anything about real estate investing, I always thought that you had to have 20% down, but he informed me of something called an FHA loan where you can take as little as 3.5% down. As long as you're going to be living in the property, living on the premise, then you are able to take advantage of a loan like that. So that was something that was really eye-opening to me, and I realized, hey, I didn't need a ton of capital up front in order to make my first purchase. I just needed to make sure that I have 3.5%. Now, obviously, I'm going to try and go a little bit higher than 3.5% or significantly higher than 3.5%, because what that will do is drive down the monthly cost on my mortgage. So I need to really make sure that I'm doing all the necessary steps that I can to make that payment as minimal as possible. So after I talked to my brother, he pointed me in the direction of a mortgage lending company that he used. He had a really great experience with when he was purchasing his first home. And I talked to them on the phone, and this was a really, really great process because I really didn't understand how mortgages actually worked, what was entailed in a mortgage, how to get qualified for it. So I have an entire list of all the information that I needed in order to qualify for a mortgage. You know, it takes into account not only your income, but your past residency. It also takes into account your investment accounts. And like, I need things like my W-2 from work. And luckily I have all these stuff filed away in really, really great locations where I can just pull them and submit them online to this person. But it's really a lot simpler than I thought it would be. It was really overwhelming when I was first looking at it, but once I talked to this guy on the phone, I mean, he really laid it out simply for me to understand. And I was worried, you know, I wasn't really going to get a decent multifamily unit because my salary isn't as big as it possibly can. You know, as a new worker, I graduated college last year. I've almost been out of college for a year now. So I was worried that I wasn't going to get a really good loan. But actually what I found out was when you buy something like multifamily units, it actually takes into account the rental revenue that you could be generating that goes onto your income as well. So you can get more and more in loans as well. So that's really something that you need to keep in mind, especially if you're thinking about going into real estate investing with multifamily units. So I literally can hit submit on that application tonight if I wanted to, but I'm waiting on a few questions that I had for the mortgage lender to understand just a little bit more things before I actually submit my application. I just had some last minute questions, no big deal. And I think that, you know, in the next 2-3 days, I'm actually going to be clicking submit. And then what that is going to do is he's going to come back to me with an approved mortgage amount where I can start shopping and understanding what value, what price range I can start looking at in terms of these multifamily units. Before all of this, I was looking at what areas I wanted to, you know, invest, what areas I was looking to purchase this property in, and really settled on a few in mind that have a number of different properties on the market already. So I'm really eager to get into them, but I've been doing a ton of different research, whether it is the value of the rent that they're going to be paying, how much my expected mortgage is going to be, and then just taking into account, you know, how the utilities break down and everything in general for when it comes to investing in these real estate properties, you know, where they are and how much the property taxes are going to be. So there's a lot that goes into it, but that's stuff that I've been doing on the side. Now, on top of that, you know, you heard me talking about how important it is to have sort of a mentor when it comes to investing, when it comes to real estate investing in particular. And I actually reached out to a multifamily unit property owner in the exact area that I'm looking to purchase my properties as well. Now, they own two different units. I believe one is a 4-person unit and the other one is a 3-person unit. So they have a lot of insight into the types of people who are renting from them. I asked them about any problems they had around the area, you know, just typical questions that I really don't know the answer to. And I even asked them things like, you know, good plumbers in the area, just to start building a contact list in case there was something that ever happened that I didn't really know how to handle. And they are going to be a huge resource moving forward. I think you'll hear me talking about them a lot in this series because they're going to help me out when it comes to structuring the lease, when I'm creating a lease for renters to actually sign. And then there's a lot of different things that they're going to actually help mentor me. So they're really going to help me out throughout the process of, you know, whether it's buying, renting out, being an owner-occupied unit. They really have the insight and the market knowledge. So this is going to be tremendous for me moving forward. Now, lastly, the last thing that I really have done so far is talk to real estate agents to understand the area, to understand their expertise, and really fully understand, you know, what this is going to entail for me moving forward. So I'm really itching to get started. I can't wait to start checking out some of these properties, understanding the loan value that I'm going to be approved for, and then moving forward, you know, sharing and documenting this entire journey. So definitely leave a comment down below supporting me. Let me know that you're watching along. It really means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more, make sure you smash that like button. As long as, you know, I'm seeing interest out there, I'm going to continue sharing this journey for you guys, being completely transparent. I'll talk all about the financing, the numbers, everything that you want to know, because I know those are my most important questions when it comes to this. And there's not a ton of resources out there that are fully transparent. So I'm hoping to, you know, build that knowledge base and share all of that information with you guys. So definitely smash that like button if you have not already and you want to follow along. And then I just want to say thank you guys for checking out this video, and I hope you have a great day.